The illustration market is more competitive than ever. More illustrators looking for work and clients with struggling budgets means new and experienced artists are fighting over the same jobs. But a competitive environment might be just the thing you need to level up and become the best illustrator you can be. It just takes a few mindset shifts and a healthy dose of grit. Maybe you feel like there's too much competition and you'll never stand out. Well, the same could be said of fine artists or photographers or writers, YouTubers, small businesses, restaurants, craft breweries, singer-songwriters. The list could go on and on. Plenty of people choose to start and try anyway, despite the odds and despite the competition. They'd all rather try to build their dream career, even if there's a risk of failing, than to not try at all. For every one of these people who is putting themselves out there and going for it, there are 1,000 other people who have a dream, just like everybody else, but aren't brave enough to take the first step, share their art on social media, or post their first YouTube video, or set up an Etsy store. They are guaranteed not to succeed because they don't even try. It might be a long shot for the singer-songwriter who you see at your local pub to get a record deal, but the odds are infinitely better for that person than if they'd never written a song at all. Infinitely better. Trying to turn something you love doing into a career is worth it, in my book, even if it has a high chance of failure. Otherwise, you risk getting to your old age and regretting never having tried at all. It's easy to look at social media and feel like there's no space left for you or your creative work, but that competition is proof of demand. People love music, people like eating in new restaurants, people love drinking beer, and people love reading new books, or buying them at least. And brands and companies and publishers love hiring illustrators. The economic circumstances at the moment might mean demand is lower, but it doesn't mean those clients wouldn't love to give a skilled illustrator a shot. When things level out a bit more, opportunities will start opening up again. You've just got to make sure you don't quit before that happens. Here's mindset shift number 1. If there's competition, there's opportunity. So instead of seeing all that competition as a roadblock, see it as validation that what you are trying to do is worth it. People don't compete for things that aren't valuable. When you're in a competitive industry, particularly a creative one, you might think, okay, how can I be better than the competition? And if you're selling your time on Upwork or Fiverr, then the amount of 5-star reviews you get suggests you are better than the competition. But nobody's really standing out on those platforms. The clients that go there want the right balance of good reviews and the lowest price. It's all commoditized and it's primarily about being cheap and not terrible. It's not really about being the best. But being a better illustrator or restaurant or musician is all subjective. You might appear to be better to some people, but not to others. So it's not really a great goal, I don't think. What actually works is being different and memorable. I've eaten in a lot of restaurants, some better than others in my eyes, but the ones I like the most aren't about white tablecloths and polished cutlery. They're about the flavours and the memories and the company and the vibe. They're not measurements of quality necessarily, they're experiences that resonated with me individually. I can also look at an illustrator's portfolio of work and see that they've worked with some great clients, and I can see they've got well-practiced technical skills, but I might not like the work at all. Yeah, they're good at what they do, but I don't like it. So don't try and compete to be better than other illustrators. It's an impossible task. Instead, try to be memorable and different. The goal isn't to win the competition of being the best illustrator. It's to position yourself in a unique spot where you are great at what you do and you make a memorable impression with your work. You won't be right for every client. You can't be. But for the right client or the right project, you're the top choice. I'll just paraphrase something I've heard recently in relation to YouTube creators. There are no unique creations, only unique creators. At this point in time, most of the stuff you see or read or hear on the internet is combined or reinterpreted or stolen or misunderstood from other people's ideas. It's hard to find a truly unique idea in creative work, but we resonate with the individual creators, the way they apply their unique style or the way they explain things or the sound of their voice. The way you interpret ideas or the colours or the textures that you use in your work or the references that you combine are all part of what makes your work unique to you, and it's how you'll stand out and how clients will remember you specifically. So mindset shift number 2 is don't try to be the best. Start trying to be memorable. And there are many creative ways you can do that. Oh, Chi-Chi, you've been too loud. Some illustrators have no problem staying busy even when the market is pretty rocky. It's not just their skill at illustrating, although that is an essential part, but there are plenty of skilled illustrators who have struggled when times are rocky too, so it can't just be down to skill. There are other things at play. They may have found their niche and they're the go-to artist in that niche. If you want this kind of work, you go to this artist first. And the niche might be a particular style, or it might be working within a particular industry or for a specific audience. But counter to that, the artist may also be a generalist. They excel at multiple styles of work with lots of different industries. And this means they've got more opportunities to get hired across the board. Editorial work dries up, no problem. They've got some publishing projects to keep them busy, or maybe they design logos for small businesses, or whatever else. They've got contacts all over and diverse experience. A generalist might never be the top choice for a project because they haven't specialised, but they're always a good choice for clients because they have this broad experience, and it means if one source of income dries up, they've got a backup. A busy artist has probably invested time into building relationships with clients too. It's not about doing one gig and then moving on to the next one. They make a good impression, then try to connect with that client on a more personal level, and then they keep in touch with them. The clients who they've connected with remember them and refer them to others, and will consider them for any appropriate project that comes along because they like working with them. And related to that, a busy artist has more than likely got into a groove of being consistent with their outreach and social media and other marketing activities. They're consistent with it. It's not about the success or failure of any one social media post or email to a client. It's about doing it regularly so they are always easily found and visible to potential clients. Other successful artists may have positioned themselves as experts, not just artists. They do that by using a combination of being really good at what they do, of course, but also sharing that knowledge and expertise with others. That raises their profile and they get more publicity and they're found more easily online. And when they build up this credibility and they offer their professional opinion to a client, well, that has some real weight to it. They become a valuable member of the creative team, meaning they're more likely to be hired again and again by a client because that client wants an expert's input on their project. Here's mindset shift number 3. The busiest illustrators don't just make art, they build a brand. Clients hire illustrators they trust, and trust comes from expertise, visibility, and reputation. Which of these mindset shifts do you need to work on the most? Let me know in the comments. The illustration market is always going to be competitive. That's not the problem though. The real challenge is in making sure that you're positioning yourself in a way that makes competition irrelevant, or at least minimizing it so much that you're competing with the smallest group of other artists possible. And you do that by standing out, being different, being trusted, and by building relationships. If you want to learn more about how you can stand out in your niche, check out this video. See you next time. Chi-Chi, you made that really uncomfortable. So fat.